Welcome back. For today's video, I'm going to do a tutorial using this new Fergie palette that I purchased at Walgreens. It is called Camouflage Couture. This palette does not have the greatest pigmentation. It is really dusty and was a little bit difficult to apply, but I wanted to do a tutorial using this affordable palette because even though it's a little bit chalky, you can still make it work if you damp your brush. And I also picked up a blush from her collection as well, and mine is in Brush with Destiny. It's the one that I have on right now. I am going to show how this beautifully applies onto your cheeks, and you absolutely do not need a highlighter. I did do my foundation routine, and then I realized I should have filmed that part. I did pick up the Fergie concealer, and I accidentally messed up and didn't apply that one. I actually used the Maybelline Master Conceal in the shade Light. So you're going to see a demo of how these products work. And I also picked up this Maybelline Fit Me Poreless translucent powder. So I hope you guys will like this video, and let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start off by taking this concealer that I'm absolutely loving right now, and I'm going to place this under my eye areas where I usually love to highlight, at the bridge of my nose in between my eyebrows. And I'm going to take this beauty sponge, which is by the brand Soho, and as you can see, I'm just shearing this concealer out. Taking this new Be Matte and Poreless translucent powder and this pointed contour brush from Diva Beauty. It does set your under eye concealer really nicely, and it does stay put. I'm now taking this powder from Too Faced Cosmetics and my favorite buffing brush from Crown. I'm going to set my foundation. Dipping my brush into this iridescent finish powder from Coastal Scents. This powder is one of my favorites to apply very lightly after I have finished applying my powder because it leaves your skin with a nice luminous finish. Now taking the Balm's Bahama Mama, and I'm just going to contour around the sides of my forehead, at my temples, and at the hollows of my cheekbones. Taking MAC's Painterly, and I'm going to start applying this onto my eyelids to prime my eyes and start this eye look. Taking this gorgeous blending brush, this one is from Diva Brushes. I'm going to use this Sonia Kashuk matte palette and use this brick eyeshadow shade. I'm going to softly start at the outer corner of my eye and then just working my way up to the inner corner, little side-by-side strokes. I recently received a brush set from Diva Brushes, and let me tell you guys, these brushes are so affordable, really hold up so nicely. I have to do a review for them. I'm actually backed up in showing you guys a lot of products, and I also have an upcoming giveaway, of course. But these brushes are so beautiful. I love the rose gold details in them, and I'm just building this up. Going back in with the same palette, I'm going to use this matte dark brown eyeshadow to place this eyeshadow shade right at our crease, focusing highest pigmentation at the outer edge. Lace's EB21. I did dampen my brush with a spritz of water. I'm going to use this olive shade, and it does have some small glitter reflex to it. I'm going to very gently start patting this eyeshadow onto my eyelid, going a little bit over my crease. And the reason why I damped my brush is because I wanted to avoid any fallout, since I love to apply my foundation first before my eye makeup. I don't know why, it's one of those personal preference things. I just cannot get used to applying my eye makeup first. And this palette does not have the greatest pigmentation. Just carefully patting. Taking the same EB21 brush, I'm now going to use this metallic green shade, and I'm going to start patting this right over that olive green shade just to make this eyeshadow really stand out. This one is so beautiful. But again, even though I spritzed my brush, I'm noticing that there is quite a bit of fallout of the glitter. I'm now going to use my same brush and take this lime green eyeshadow shade, and I'm just going to overlap it just a small amount. Going back in with the same Sonia Kashuk palette, this matte black is not the darkest black, so it's going to be a perfect color for the crease. And I'm just going to focus the highest pigmentation at the outer edge. Taking that same blending brush I used for my transition, and I'm going to do our final blend very softly. Taking Crown C433 Pro Blending Brush, and I'm going to use this matte vanilla shade for the brow bone. I have definitely missed using this palette. I haven't used it in a while, so I'm just taking this very gently and going down just a little bit. I'm going to go back in with a little bit more of that metallic green shade because I feel like it's lost its intensity. I have a feeling that this eyeshadow is not going to stay put all day. If you have small eyelids like myself, it might just fade away, but it's unfortunate because these shades are so pretty. Going back in with that same blending brush I used to apply the matte black, just to lightly blend right on top. For the lower lash line, I'm going to use the same transition shade I used and the same blending brush. I'm just going to go in with a heavy hand from inner corner to the outer edge. Taking this smudger brush and that matte black eyeshadow, I'm going to get as close to the lash line as possible. And I'm going to take this to the center of the eye. And when I get to the outer edge, I'm just going to connect it and push up and just intensify that outer edge. Taking my powder puff, I'm just patting, sharpening up my outer edge to remove any fallout. I'm now taking this small detailing brush from BH Cosmetics. I did damp my brush, and I'm going to use this gold shade. I'm going to very gently apply this at the inner corner of the lower lash line. In patting motions, be very careful because this one is even dustier than all the rest of them. You will get so much fallout, so be very careful. Take your time. And I'm also going to apply this at the inner corner. Do a wing liner for this look. I simply applied that black eyeshadow at my lash line. I did tight line my upper waterline with a black pencil and my lower waterline with a white pencil. Products. I highly recommend the blushes that they have. I picked up Blush with Destiny. I also picked up Brush with Brilliance, and this one I haven't used yet. This other blush is not matte, and this is what that looks like. Are $4.99 each. You can purchase them at Walgreens or any of your local drugstores where they sell the Wet n Wild collection, and this one's the Fergie collection, so I highly recommend them. And as far as this Camouflage Couture palette, It's really up to you if you want to pay $5. I would just highly recommend to damp your brush when you are going to apply these eyeshadows because they are beautiful. However, it is so dusty and you're going to get so much fallout. I wish they would just make this palette in the original formulation, the ones that come in the 5-pan. That would be so amazing because colors in this palette is so beautiful. But this one for $4.99, I guess you can't really beat that price. And then this new concealer by Maybelline, which is their Master Conceal. I have it in the shade Light. I highly recommend this concealer. It does have an amazing lasting power and it just goes on so nice. So if you do have oily skin, this is definitely going to last you all day. The translucent powder I use to set my under eye concealer is this new one by Maybelline. It's called Matte and Poreless. This just goes on so smooth. It does leave you with a nice flawless finish. This one I believe I paid under $6 for it at Walmart. Highly recommend this translucent powder. I think it's definitely going to rival my favorite Rimmel Stay Matte powder in the shade Translucent. So these ones I highly recommend and they're so affordable. And I'm now going to show you and give you my overall thoughts on this new Wet n Wild Come Correct Celebrity Concealer. And I picked up the shade Fair and I also picked up the shade Medium Beige. I originally picked up medium beige and I found that was a little bit too dark for my under eye area, but for spot concealing this is good. The shade Fair is a little bit too light for under my eye area, but I do love the application, so I'm going to give you guys some swatches of these two shades that I picked up. Apply this, I have to tell you guys that you do have to work one eye at a time because this dries quickly to a tacky form, but it just leaves you with a nice flawless finish that I highly recommend. It just feels so thick. Just rubbing this on my hands right now, but it just feels so creamy but tacky at the same time, so it doesn't crease whatsoever under your eye area. I highly recommend these because they are under $5. A little bit goes a very long way. All you really need is one dot for each eye. So overall, I highly recommend these concealers I just showed you, including the setting powder. I absolutely love them. And the best part is that they are very affordable, so it's within everybody's budget. I hope you guys liked this tutorial and mini review on some of the products that I recently picked up, and I highly recommend, except for that palette. That palette is a little bit tricky to work with, and I'm now seeing the more that I'm blinking and talking, I'm definitely getting some fallout. So my face is probably going to look like a disco ball by the end of the day. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Big hugs and kisses, and I will see you guys very soon.